Hey everyone, Christina Hollis here. And one of the things I get asked a lot by clients is why does a logo cost so much money? Well, the reason is because there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes before that logo is ever designed for you. So let me break some of that down for you. But before I get into how a logo is designed, I want to talk to you about what a logo is for your company and what it's not. The one thing that a logo is, it is your face in the world. But what gives that logo the meaning is what you do every day, from customer service to how your building looks to how you present yourself and your company in the world around you. All of that is attached to the logo, which gives it the meaning that it needs to have in the world around it. So that's why your logo cannot just immediately come out in the world and have all this meaning behind it. And so a lot of my clients want to put everything in the kitchen sink in a logo, trying to make it say something in the world without actually doing all the work that it takes to give that logo meaning in the world that it's setting in. And so one of the questions that I always ask students that I teach logo design to is, I want you to take a moment and think of Kia and Lexus. Now, Kia came out with a new logo. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but they came out with a new logo trying to elevate who they are in the marketplace. But I promise, even though that they have that new logo, you still think that Lexus is the premium brand. And it is. But that's because of the machine that they make and what it means in the world around it. The people who drive it. The customer service that you get from the dealerships that sell it. That's why when working with a graphic designer, you need to think about some things like that before you ever sit down and talk to them. Now, one of the things a good graphic designer will do when they sit down with you is they talk to you about who you are, what your company stands for, what it produces, and who it sells to. We like to do what's called user personas. And so we talk to you about the ideal client. Give us 3 ideal clients that you sell to on a daily basis, or you would like to sell to if you're a new company coming out in the world. And we flesh them out as if they were real people. We give them an education, we give them a job, we give them hobbies that they like to do, and we end up tying all those things to people who would actually purchase your product or service. Now, what this helps us do is it not only helps the designer design for someone to actually buy your product or service, but it helps you as a client know who you are trying to go after. I don't like the shotgun approach where you shoot from the hip and just scatter spray out into the world trying to hit somebody and hope that they buy your product. I prefer more of a very direct hit, because that way you're not spending a whole lot of money just trying to shoot out there and hope somebody buys your product. But instead, I know this is the person who's going to buy my product, and everything I do is going to speak to them. So a designer takes all of that and they talk to you and they figure out what your competition looks like in the environment around you, keywords and elements that will fit what you're up to, and they come up with 3 or 4 good logo concepts to show to you. And then from those logo concepts, things are modified and subtracted or added to give you a very strong face in the environment. Now, the problem is, you don't want to throw everything into this logo, right? It can't stand for everything, but it needs to be your face in the environment that it's in. So going from that, you need to think about where this is going to show up at. Is it going to be on the side of trucks? Is it going to be on billboards, commercials, hats? Where is it going to live in the world? And then will that logo look good on those things? You also have to think about that logo living small. So on a business card, does it read well on a business card? It may look great on a piece of paper, but when it starts living in the world around it, does it read the way that you want it to read to give you a distinct face in the environment that you want to show up in? So why does a logo cost so much money? Because it's not just somebody clicking some buttons on a computer. It actually has a whole bunch of psychology, color theory behind it, as far as does this color actually show serene versus something that shows bold and in your face. Typography that's used that's easy to read. It's legible at different sizes. There's a lot that goes into a logo design if it is done well and done right. So if you like this content, hit subscribe and tell me in the comments below what you think is important when it comes to logo design.